Man, I was watching videos of the Nepal protests. Holy shit. That is nuts. Gen Z has overthrown the government in Nepal. And honestly, I'm looking at videos and I'm like, okay, is it really like really peaceful? I think it is because I watched videos of this guy called What We Hate the Cold, and there's just like these shops are almost untouched. Meanwhile, the police stations are burnt, and they were driving people off. Honestly, I want to extend my congratulations to the Nepalese people. That's what happens when a government pushes their people too far. I don't want to get like, again, sorry having to run those quote-unquote political moments, but like, you know what? No. Governments need to realize that their citizens outnumber them 100 to 1, and that they work for us, not the other way around. Yeah, whatever, we pay taxes, but at the very least, we get good health care, we get good security, we get no corruption, period. That's all we want. And sometimes they can't even deliver that. And that was proven in Nepal a couple of weeks ago. Shout out to everybody that's fighting the good fight, man. Not to the people that's... Oh, there's a wheat penny. Not to the people that are violent. There's only probably... There's probably a little bit that are violent, and I don't support that shit. But to the people who aren't, like, I was watching the protest, right? And this guy, he was in, like, the middle of a protest, and they weren't... Like, dude left his bike just sitting, and they didn't rob his bike. And he had a valuable camera, but they didn't steal his camera and shit. Which leads me to believe that most of them, like 99% of them, if not 99.5%, are peaceful. And they just don't want to live under a shit government. That's simple. I mean, their government was literally living lavishly while they were living like complete shit. You know, maybe we could, like, maybe you might agree or disagree with me. But honestly, I think it's not violent if we destroy stuff. Only when we destroy people. Yes, it's not a necessarily great thing to start busting up shit, tearing things apart. But, and I don't want to sound like cringy, but unfortunately, no revolution is perfect. And people need to realize that. But yeah, honestly, the people of Nepal have balls, dude. They actually stood up and said, no, we're not going to take your shit anymore. We're not going to live like shit while you get rich off of us. No, that's not happening. And they stood up against a bully. Anyway, time to start opening. This one, we're 2 away from getting box 250. Yeah. That wheat penny? Oh! 1916 Denver, I believe. Yep, that's a 16 Denver. That's a good find. I didn't have a 16 Denver before a couple weeks ago. I just got that. Yep, 16 Denver. I already got it, but that has a mintage of 36 million. That's a good first find. It's a nice ender. 1916 Denver. And a 1945 Denver. Nice. You know when you get that wear, you're getting a good wheat penny. Wheat pennies number 1 and 2. Let me mark that down on my highlights. I already have that one. I think I have all the 1916s. Let me go check. I do. I got them all. I don't need any more 16s. However, I need a 15S. Super bad. I got a 15 Denver that was new a couple of days ago on the 10th. 8 days ago. And honestly, I don't care. I might get flack for this. But here's what I think. And I'm sorry if I ever say, oh, I don't want to get too political, but here's where I stand, right? I view left versus right as a stupid-ass concept. I don't subscribe to that. That's bullshit. Because here's the thing. While you people line your... I don't want to make this an attack. I just want to make my words clear. As you people get cut into these different boxes, you get yourselves put in these boxes. You're left, you attack anybody on the right. You're right, you attack anybody on the left. You are fighting a sideways battle, while basically what's going on is billionaires are screwing you over. It's not red versus blue, it's billionaires versus you. No, not all of them are bad, but there are billionaires that make so much money while their workers get paid literally nothing. And it surprises me how people that... hello, viewer. And it surprises me that people... And again, I might get flack for this, but people who think... They look at someone who makes billions of dollars and thinks, wow, that guy cares for you. Because most likely they don't. But I just see the people who put themselves in the separate parties and fight each other as just... There's that. It's just dumb. I'm just kidding, Penny. Like... And that's why I don't participate in it. That's all I see politics as, is two people on a playground, two kids on a playground that can't stop and get along with each other. Like, you are willfully... I'm sorry, but if you align yourself with any of these parties, in my opinion, you're willfully... Oh, God, I can't say it. Willfully ignorant. Like, who cares? You're an American and you have problems with other Americans existing, bro. Like, really, really, really. Do you think... Like, honestly, we are fighting over stupid issues, imprisoning minorities for doing nothing wrong. We are basically gutting healthcare. And you think... really, we're the richest nation on the problem. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm so sorry. We're the richest nation on Earth, but we have no free healthcare. We're the only country that voted no to making food a human right. We have some of the worst schooling of any first world country. Where to a point where we have there's another Canadian penny where we have countries in like Sweden, they get way better scores than us. Like, we rank like 40th around math and science. Finland, last time I checked, they rank like the top 10s, like 4th, 5th in science and whatnot, respectively. There's 1919 Denver. 1919 S. Not bad. That's a pretty nice penny. It's not rare because of the 1919. 1919s, even in the S and Denver variants, are very common. There's another wheat penny. 1936. Philly. We're getting some pretty older wheat pennies today. I'm looking forward to this box. But, I remember once I was on my stream and I was criticizing Trump and someone's like, oh, typical leftist. I'm like, no, I'm not a leftist. I'm actually an independent who doesn't care for your bullshit. You know what? That will offend you, and I'm sorry it does. There's 09. But look, you guys, all these people, there's 09. All these people do is fight horrifically online, and it's a perpetual cycle, and I intend not to get snared in it, period. You know what, guys, please stick with me. I might be radical. We might have to throw me in jail for what I'm about to say. We should get free healthcare. We shouldn't be douchebags to each other. We should treat everybody equally and finally, because this is the land of the free, home of the brave. Everybody should get one vote and one vote only. And we should not be violent. Everybody. Now, if you guys listen to that and you think that that's radical, that's an issue. And it's not on my part. And before any side, here's the thing. If any side says, oh, you're leftist or right, guess what, buddy? I'm neither, and you both got problems. Both sides have issues. There's good and bad people on either side. Estimate. But especially those at the top of each party, you have issues. And I cringe at anybody who tries to put me into a political box, except for me. I really do. Because this is what happens in America. Somebody does something bad, someone tries to put someone into a box, and then say, everybody in this box is bad. Like, we just can't sit down and have a civil conversation about anything anymore. It's always screaming, or at the worst case, it's violence. Sometimes I'm nervous that I'm gonna speak like really my true mind, because I'm afraid I'm gonna get canceled by my audience. Sometimes I say to myself, I shouldn't be afraid. I should speak my mind, because this is my platform, and I as long as I abide by YouTube TOS, which I do, I can say whatever I want. Plain and simple. Wheat penny, 1944 Philly. Wheat penny number 5. Getting a lot of wheat pennies today. I hope we keep getting these older ones. 1919 S and a 1916 Denver. That one started us off, of course. I really want to find some 1910s mint marks. That'd be awesome. Hello, viewer. Again, you want to hear my quote? And I came up with this. I'm being honest with you. My quote is that politics is a garbage excuse to delay progress. We could stop world hunger. We could stop climate change. We could stop discrimination. We could do that. But we can't because of politics and money. Simple as that. Now, before you guys say, oh, I'm brainwashed, I want you to sit down. I want you to look at this, right? We have resources to stop every world issue, but what we lack is common civility and organization. Because honestly, I live in America, and of course, the political climate in America right now is cancer. It is nothing less of carcinogenic, and I despise it. Okay, return rolls in. We should have 2 wheat pennies. We got 5. Let's keep going. And that's it. It's the toxicity of American politics that makes me say, I don't care. I don't care about either of you. You guys are both toxic, and I don't want to be a part of it. There's some leftists and rightists I support, but I'm just, for most part, I'm out of it. Again, we're corrupt, and I believe we're corrupted on both sides. You honestly, please try not to, don't hang me for this, but I don't think we should let billionaires donate to presidential campaigns anymore. Both sides. I agree with Bernie. Both sides. We shouldn't let anybody donate that much money. That's not fair. You can literally have somebody just donate hundreds of millions of dollars like what happened in 24. And they'll win, essentially, because they have more advertising. And I get it. Like, you have to have more advertising. Like, I get it. Like, if it was all from a bunch of people, whatever, fair game. I don't agree with that. There might be multiple Wheat Pennies. 1957 Denver. Wheat Penny number 6. I don't care if it's like, oh, there's 100,000 people. They donated $10 each. That's one thing. There's 09. But for one person to donate like shit tons of money and to basically ensure a presidential candidate to win, no matter the side, is corrupt. The fundraising should come from 73. They should come from non-millionaires because it's just unfair. $17 and it makes me disgusted how we can't even tell. I can't, like, if I said, even if I'm an independent, I don't, like, if I say, hey, you know, this thing that like Trump does, I don't agree with it. You would have the fact that I could just say something as simple as like, hey, I don't agree with something that Trump does, and that's okay. And that would elicit a angry response from one of his base members is so aggravating, and that's why I keep my mouth shut. And sometimes I contemplate saying, you know what, screw that bullshit. I don't care about their feelings. But look, I don't agree with anything, or really anything he does, and guess what? That's fine. And you know what? We can have a civil disagreement about it. We can sit here and disagree with it. As long as you have an open mind and a peaceful heart, we can do it. And that's no problem. But don't go in my chat after I disagree with something that your president does and say, you suck, you L-I-B-T-A-R-D, you know what I mean? Like, it's stupid. Come on, viewer. Just opening my mind, viewer. Like, look, as an American, all I want is peace and civility. That's really all I want. A good economy, a good society where everybody treats each other peacefully, where people of different religions, genders, backgrounds, identities, and if I didn't say like religions, whatever, can come together and, you know, put their ideas together. Like, for example, do you know America has, you know how many things are not American that we say are American, like pizza and shit? It's Italian. All, like, glass is not American. It's not wrong. It was first developed in Egypt. And all these things in America and all these ideas are what come together and make America America. It's the melting pot of the world. Like, for example, America is a country where I can open a penny roll. And I can find multiple... I can... What the shit is this? That's weird. I can open coin rolls. And I can find countries' different coins in my American penny rolls. That goes to show how much of a melting pot we are. And that's awesome. Esmond. Honestly, my personal belief is that America is corrupt. I mean, our taxes are stupid. I'm not kidding you. I went to go buy Borderlands 4 yesterday, and we, in Bloomington, Illinois, we have a combined tax of 9.75%. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Also, we got people literally, and I don't care, you guys can get mad that I don't like this, but it's just too bad. We have ICE that just got more money than almost any military in the world. I think I just heard of a lightweight penny, like a Canadian penny or some shit. And that's stupid. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. Why did they get $150 billion when, like, the National Weather Service could have been made? It could have been sent a little bit of that money. Like, do you realize with $170 billion, we could upgrade our weather stations to both survey weather and air targets, replacing the air radars and military radars and weather radars in one swoop with $6 billion. We could do it right now. Also, with about, I'd say probably $60 billion, we could, it's roughly $1 billion per 1,000 miles of interstate. There's 48,000, so there's like 48 billion. But let's say, give or take, like 50 billion. We could renovate all of our interstates. We could literally resurface every bit of our interstate with $50 billion. And also, we could add wind turbines. Like, we could extend our wind. Again, it doesn't matter. Trump is wrong. He knows nothing about wind. Like, I can confidently say he knows nothing about wind. Our president knows zero about wind. Calls them windmills. Which, by the way, no, they're not windmills. Windmills make or mill grain and pump water. Wind turbines convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. Oh, they're the most expensive form of power. No, they're not. They're actually some of the cheapest. And see, that's one reason I don't like the president, because I'm a wind technician. I want to have a good job, and he's anti-wind. So therefore, I'm anti-Trump. And that's fair and fair game. Also, he passed a thing in the big bullshit bill that will take away tax credits for wind farms, and that threatens my job. So no, I'm not supporting your president. Simple as that. You can cry about it. I don't care. There's a wheat penny. 1941 Denver. And of course, as I say, oh, I hope I get older wheat pennies. I'm not going to get older wheat pennies because that's just my luck. Yep, $1,000 wheat penny. 1956 Denver. Wheat penny number 8. Are we starting to get more wheat pennies in the chase boxes? Because that's kind of unusual now, ain't it? Oh, no. Honestly, I think what happened in Nepal needs to happen in America peacefully. And you know, I may sound bad, but shit would have to probably get busted up. Not the shops, not the stores or homes, no businesses. Like, we need it. Honestly, I think we need a new government at this point. I mean, we are so far gone. America is honestly far gone. I know I don't want to be a zoomer. Like, life is expensive. Rampant corruption. Taxes are horrible. I don't care if taxes are high. Use them. I don't want to see my tax. Oh, baby, 7. We are 20 rolls in. We should have 4 wheat pennies. We got 8. I don't want to see my tax money going to ICE. I don't want to see my tax money going to Israel. I don't want to see that. And I have a right to say that because I pay taxes. You do too. If anybody listens to this, if you're an American, you pay taxes. We should have a better say of what we do with the money. We know what they should do. If we, oh, there's a wheat penny. 1956 Denver, or Philly. 1956 Philly. Wheat penny, number 9. I think if we make like bills like that where we like give money to different branches and it's above $1 billion, we should have a vote or at least like 60% needs to pass. I'll also say, speaking of like percentages, we are so politically divided. If you even look at the last election, it was only off by like 1.5%. Clearly, I'm not saying we need to go full communism. No, I don't think that. No, we're in hell. But like, we need someone that represents both values but isn't extreme. And I don't care what anybody says. Please, nobody that's ancient. God damn. Our last two presidents were so old. 09. Like, I generally don't get it. And if you guys get mad at me, oh, you're just criticizing Trump too much. Well, I ain't like, I'm criticizing Biden too. Past two presidents, in my opinion, were not competent. Past three were not competent at all. Like, they both fall asleep. They both are losing their minds. Like, I'm not sorry, but for the last three presidencies, we have there's dime. We have the opportunity to elect an elected official, and we chose the last three people. Is this, I have to ask this, is this really who you want representing the free world? Is it really? That's a wheat penny. 1930, what the hell? Wheat penny's light. 1936S. Wheat penny number 10. I have that one. $36S, 29 million. That's cool. You got two rare wheat pennies in the box. Nice. Two under 50 million minted wheat pennies found in this box so far. Oh, is that a wheat penny? It is. It's 37 Denver. That's another rare one. Yeah, yep, it's right on that 50 million mark. Nice, holy hell. That's three of them. I count it's 50 million or under. $1937 Denver. Three 50 million or unders here so far. Nice. That's two 50 million or unders in a row. There's a Woody. I really hope we can get some good shit. Even more good shit. You know what I think? Here's an issue, right? I think there's a generational conflict in the government. In my view, the government is run by these old boomers. And there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing. However, they hold different views than us. Should they be punished for it? No. But the problem is that we young people, we want things differently than what the people in office have. And that's an issue. And they need to understand that, honestly. Here's Woody. I think, honestly, that's a huge problem. Halfway through, we should have 5 wheat pennies. We got 11. And a dime. There, Weedy. 1958 Denver. And we got any more? I was getting a feeling that we're gonna get a couple rolls more, that we have like 2 more Wheaties in. Nope. Only Wheatie in here. 1958 Denver. Wheat penny number 12. And also, I really want to add this. Not just do I see videos of the Nepal rioters. They're not, like, there's this guy with an expensive camera. He's got a moped. And he left that moped probably for, I'd say almost, even though the video's cut, I probably want to put in, like, half an hour. Maybe even an hour. And that moped was not touched. Nobody tried to go up to him and snag his camera. No one tried to assault him. There was a guy who threw rocks at them, and then they fought back and basically beat his ass. That's not really that acceptable. But honestly, these guys seem to be avoiding any towns, and they're torching police stations. And honestly, I don't blame the Nepalese. They're fed up. Imagine being poor. And not just being poor, but like literally everybody you know is like in the lower class. And there's such a huge, I mean a huge class separation. And you figure out that your politicians who are making your laws and taxing you are using your tax money for their vacations, using it for all this stuff, and you're basically getting the short end of the stick. I would be pissed. I don't blame them. Hats off to them. You know, I hope that in the wake of their protest, they can establish a more peaceful of the government, by the government, or no, of the people, by the people, for the people government if they can. They tried to ban social media, which I'm against. Not because, oh, I'm a kid. Banning social media. That's censorship, and I don't believe in that as an American. And I believe in free speech, honestly. Here's the thing. And I want to try to keep my feet dry in the whole situation that... I'm just going to say the situation that happened on the 10th. You can fill in what I'm referring about. And you can talk about... And, you know, I'm talking about the people who are talking about the person that, you know, went away on the 10th. And look, I'm not gonna fill in because I'm afraid I'm gonna get like banned off YouTube. And here's the thing, right? People are gonna say mean shit about people who are not with us, and that's terrible. But here's the thing: that's free speech at the end of the day, whether you like it or not. And unfortunately, and I think this does go respectively go with both sides, is that people are gonna say shit that you will not agree with, and that's okay. That's human nature, but it's not human nature to suppress or basically fire or murder anybody about it, or whatever. There's a difference to, like, hate speech. Like, if you go around the street, calling somebody N-word, like that, like not even like jokingly, but you're like saying that to them, like for a derogatory way, like that's open bigotry, and that's different. But we should have opinions about anybody. It does, they may be mean, but it's free speech at the end of the day, and there's nothing anybody should be able to do about it. That's America, and that's how America should run. Now, I don't think I should say, hey, I'm going to go down to X, and I'm going to put some caps in there. Why? Because of Z. Like, if I make a threat to end someone's life, that's not right. And that should be treated with the full extent of the law. In fact, I believe we should have red flag laws, like, right, long before, pause for a second. We are 30 rules in, we should have 6 sweet pennies, we got 12. Anyway, like, honestly, I think in the wake of the event on the 10th, I think we need to pass red flag laws, and there's a wheat penny right there. There's actually 2 of them. 1947 Denver, 1945 Philly. Wheat pennies number 13, 14. Now, here's the thing, honestly. And I think anybody can agree with me. If you have a common mind, and I don't want to be like that, like narcissist, but if we have common agreements, I think we should agree on one thing, is that if we have a kid on, the internet, and he says he's going to shoot up the local school, I think we should get a warrant. We should raid that kid's house peacefully and confiscate his guns, or at least do something. Because I don't care if it's a joke. I mean, look at this. Even if someone's joking about swatting, SWAT people will go and swat the people's house. Although, yeah, the SWAT doesn't know that the person's joking, right? But we treat people like right now, if I were to call and say that my neighbor has a victim in their house, which they do not. If I were to call and say that, then police would be there in full force with guns ablazing. And honestly, to a certain degree, I'm not saying they should put forth, they should go after and necessarily harm fake shooting threat requests. I think, honestly, if someone says they're going to shoot a place up, we need to have, cops do something. Because preventative action is the best way to stop an issue like that from happening. If you can... Here's the thing. A lot of people... They wait till the problem happens, and then they try to solve it. The best way to solve a problem is to prevent it from happening. For example, we could have, let's say, let's go in the car world, right? We could have giant tanks, and then we could have, open roads where you can drive wherever you want, and have tanks where nobody gets hurt, or we could stop that collision by putting a line in the middle of the road and stopping, and theoretically, putting down, hey, don't cross the road here, whatever, and there we go. That stopped, when we didn't have lines in the roads, and then when we put the lines in the roads, we stopped and slowed down a shit ton of deaths. That was preventative action, and because of that simple fix, millions of Americans can walk away every day, and we can efficiently travel in cars. It's not the best system, but it is what it is. That's what I'm saying. Again, red flag laws. How many school mass casualty incidents? I know what they are, but I'm just gonna say it just for the sake of YouTube. How many mass casualty incidents could have been avoided or countered if we could have figured out hey, you know, this guy's gonna do this. We should stop. We should stop him. Not all. I'm not gonna say accents because that's a horrible word to describe those incidents. But like you know, in some you know events like that, people will say, "Hey, I'm gonna do this next day. Don't go to school," and then people will ignore it. And I get it. Not everybody's on social media, but oh, there's 1918 Philly Wheat Penny number 15. And I get it. Not everybody's on social media, but how many people can see that and like report it and say, "Hey, this guy's gonna do something," even if it's fake. It should be taken seriously. I believe in edgy jokes. Off camera, my jokes go a little bit too far, but I draw the line between SA and shooting. That's where I say, yeah, I'm not going to joke about that. That's terrible. There's a Wheat Penny, by the way, and a Witty. In 1945 Philly, Wheat Penny number, I think, 16, actually. Wow. Another thing I really hate about America is that when somebody does do a shooting, you know, I might have to say it. When someone does shoot up a place, the people will not barely focus on the death of the person. What happened on the 10th, yes. But honestly, like when it's a school, it feels like we spend 2 seconds on the kids that lost their lives to a horrible event like that. And we spend 2 minutes instead of, you know, saying, oh, what's the identity of this guy? What gender were they? Were they straight? Were they cis? Were they trans? Were they Republican or Democrat? Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter what that guy was, except for one thing. He was a deranged person. For example, if I'm not wrong, the person behind the Sandy Hook incident was autistic. Do we need to start investigating every autistic person now? Well, guess what, buddy? When I'm autistic, and I would never do what that guy did. If that guy in Sandy Hook was autistic, as an autistic person myself, that guy's a piece of shit, and he should go to jail. He should go to prison forever. That's not right. I don't care if you are autistic like me. If you do that stuff, you're horrible. And you should get punished by the full extent of the law. Now look, here's the thing. There are crazy people from every walk of life. Crazy people from all genders, races, religions, and stuff. Right? There's extremists. And they don't represent everybody in their group. Just because one, like, for example, this happened after 9/11. And that when 9/11 happened, so many Islamic and Muslim people faced backlash because the 1 out of 10,000 extremists from their religion said, you know what, I'm going to take as much life as I'm going to do today. Just because somebody who bombed, I love you. Just because somebody did something bad doesn't mean the entire group should be bad. Like, you know what I mean? Just because, I don't know exactly, just because the person or the people who bombed 9/11 were Muslim or Islamic, it doesn't mean they all are bad. Here's how I view. There are bad and good people from any community. Oh, there's an old Wheat Penny. 1910. Oh, yeah, that's an old boy. That is Wheat Penny number 17. I'd say it could be a 1910. Imagine it was 1910 Denver, but Denver did not strike Wheat Pennies until 1912. So it'd be a 19S. 1911. Oh, wait, no. Did they... Hold on. No, they started striking in 1911. I'm wrong. I was very close, though. Give me the credit. But again, this is a cancer that happens in American society, is that we need to stop doing this. Like, stop looking at one group of people who did something. And, one person from a group do something. And then demonizing the entire group. That's shit. It happened. It happened in the Minnesota shooting. It happened in Nashville. It happened in there's no nine. It happened in Sandy Hook. And although it's not shooting, it happened in 9/11. And that's simply what it boils down to. I will say with groups, there is an exception, like, you know, like terrorists, you know, like those guys are 100% violent. That's the exception. But what really is disgusting to me, oh, there's CRPDs here. 1928 what? Oh, 1928S. Wow, that's a cool one. My second one I've ever collected. 1928S, 1942 Philly. We pays number 1819. Goodness gracious. I hope the other box is like this. I don't care if anybody disagrees with me here. The fact that so many people, when that guy on the 10th died, and I know who he is, and you guys do too, the fact that they blamed it on the trans community is disgusting. You know what? Here's the thing, right? I actually respect trans people. However, I will make this blatantly clear. If somebody does shoot up a place and they're trans, then you're a piece of shit. Not because you're trans, because you decided that it would be okay to end people's lives. The only people who you should even threaten is those who are forced into a deadly, like, wait, 10 rules left. We should have 8 weekdays for 10. The only people who should die are the people who are prepared to do it. And that is only in war. There's 1936 Philly. We pay number 13. We pay number 20. Oh, crap. Any more? I don't hate you because I don't hate people because of their identity. I hate people because of what they do. Like, you're telling me. Okay. Like, let me get this straight. You're telling me that 0.8% of the population, a group of people who consist of roughly 1 out of like 120 people, are committing all these mass shootings. No. Like, here's the thing, what they will never do. And here's what the people who always blame trans people for shooters will never do. They will never, and I mean never, they will never get you the numbers of how many people do it. Do you know how many people were trans that shot up schools? Like 5 or 10. Do you know how many people were cis that did that? Thousands. Now, here's the thing. By their logic, you would say, oh, we need to start cracking on cis people. No. That's not correct. There's good cis and bad cis people. There's good trans and there's bad trans people. But just because 1 out of thousands of people from a community do something doesn't mean you should basically judge them on one thing. This applies differently to terrorists because those groups they do harm people, and that's their group. But being trans or gay, whatever, that doesn't negate, or that does not warrant a violent response. here's what I've seen, right? Can you imagine being that person? And by the way, before I say this, and before you catch me flack, I do not sympathize for the person who went behind the Minnesota shooting. That person is disgusting and should go to jail because of what they did, not because of who they are. But I want you to imagine this. You're a group of people and you have the government essentially hating on you. Can you imagine that every waking day of your life? That sucks. And so what, Espen? So what happens is that all this hate drives everybody in that community crazy, and then all of a sudden, when one person out of the thousands of that community decides to do something bad and horrific, no matter who they are, there's something, they all get the shit for it. That's what I see. Hello, viewer. Oh, 09. Again, here's the thing. I guarantee most people who shoot up places are straight. Does that mean that all straight people are bad? No. And that is a disgusting concept to even think of if people think about that. Simply, if a trans person shoots up a school, is the entire trans community bad? No. Because that one person does not represent everybody. I've personally met trans people, and every single one I've met are some of the nicest people, and they're really good people. And the fact that they're going to get thrown under the bus because some ignorant ass people in this world is just saddening to me. I'm not even trans myself, but I'm a friend of people who are, and that shit sucks that they have to go through that. Again, if you are trans and you shoot up a school, no sympathy to you. You're a monster because here's the thing, you're not a monster of who you are. You're a monster from what you did, and that's what it comes down to. There's Espen. And that's what happens, is people judge people from what they are instead of what they do. And it's happened for all of human society. And unfortunately, you cannot break it until we actually stand up, I guess. And also, by the way, I will say this from an independent point of view. For the people saying that all leftists should die for what happened to that one guy on the 10th, you're just as bad as the guy who did that crime. You're like, there we go. There's a wheat penny. Actually, two. Hell no. Let's see, 1950 Denver. Wheat penny number 21. Like, if you think that shooting other people of the other side will avenge you, then you're just as bad. Period. You have completed the cycle of violence. The guy who did that crime does not deserve to be a free guy. He is horrible, I think, honestly, in my opinion. I love you. But I will say it, and I will say it with my honest heart. Two wrongs don't make a right. 17:30. And that, and that, my friend, is why I find politics to be disgusting. It lacks civility. And that's why I don't involve myself. Simple as that. Sorry, viewer. I was opening my mind there. Oh, there's a weenie. 1946S. Yep, that's 46S. Wheat penny number 22. We're getting a whole stack of wheat pennies. We got a couple of nice wheat pennies. We got a 16D, 36S, 37 Denver, and a 28S. Can we get a fifth before we're done? Dude, I was watching videos about Nepal today. It's nuts. Okay. Now, a 1941 Philly. We pay number 23. Man, we're getting a lot today. Central Philly. Natural. Hey, at least we got nice. We got a send-off wheat penny. 1956 Denver. Makes wheat penny number 24, and that's probably our last one. Oh no, man. You know what I'm starting to think? And I don't want to, like, stoke any stupid conspiracy theories. What if the U.S. government tries to censor or monitor media? What would happen? Would what happened in Nepal happen? You never know. Man, like usually, like, you hear about these protests and they get fizzled out very quickly, but Nepal, like, went full through. And apparently after they did their thing, they're cleaning up. They're actively cleaning up and rebuilding. That's true revolution. Shit gets banged up, and that's not good, but they're fixing and paving a new road for themselves. Alright, that's cool. My phone just died, but we got my stream back. That's cool that I can have that. Cool if my phone could just die and I could get my stream back like that. Awesome. Wheat pennies. We got 24, including 4 wheat pennies that were under were at or under 50 million struck. Starting off a nice 1916 Denver. Bicentennials. Let's get that going. 9 of those. 17 Phillies. 9 of those as well. S-Mins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 of those. Woodies, we got 4 of those. Canadian pennies, we got 2 of those. And Indian heads, we got nothing. Copper pennies, let's go run and let's go figure that out. $530. It's not a lot. I would expect more, but that's interesting. Oh wait, yeah, it's Thursday. I just need 7 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a second. Nothing. Hold on. Shit. 1, 2, 3, 1. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I need to get another box for Wednesday. For Thursday. Next Thursday, I mean, I'll be getting boxes, but I won't have another one. So I'll probably have to go get like a bonus one from like my local bank or some shit. Alright, that is it, and actually it looks like we're getting full. We're getting full on those jars over here. We're probably going to start a new 17 Philly jar because we're getting full. Okay, yeah, we're full. We have to get a transfer going. Alright, where's my tape? mine. So yeah, we got a hold of these jar of 17 Philadelphia pennies. Really nice. There's one right there. My wife. I love Borat. Borat's funny. Hell, let's get another one for the funsies. You want to hear how you can pour pennies from one jar to another? Just simple. You just gotta rotate the jar. Actually, I'll fill this back. Because, I want a better, representation. Because when this thing gets half full, I'll know that, hey, I need to fill that other one up. Hey guys, I'm going to stream some Ashenir, and maybe if I might stream some Borderlands 4 tonight. Anyway, I hope you guys have a nice one, and peace.